She was 18 when she first saw Dr. Phil on Oprah. He was bald, and he was right. You either get it or you don't. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. There is no reality, only perception. And as she nodded along with Oprah, she was certain that she finally understood why the boy she'd been with for 3 weeks the previous year, her first love, had ended their budding relationship. 20 years and a multitude of self-help books later, she was a bona fide expert in what she called the underword. In relationships, when her boyfriend spoke, she listened not to what they said, but what they meant. Sometimes that was the same thing, but most times it was not. Most times she had to dig. After years of practice, it took no more than a split second for her to translate, "Look, I've just been really busy," into "You're not a priority." Wow. And maybe we should take a break into "I've met someone else." And "Where have you been?" into "I've missed you." She saw damaged boys hidden in the faces of grown men, and she understood and acknowledged them both. It's why she was able to stay with a man for 3 years, even though he never told her he loved her. See, when they finished making love, he'd say, "It was healing." She knew what he meant. She was certain. It's why she left a man after 6 months, even though he told her he loved her every day. See, he only said it after asking her to say something, do something, wear something, forgive him, believe him, trust him, turn over, turn around, because that's the only way he could enjoy something. She knew what he meant. She was certain. Even in her current relationship with a man who never lied to her, her skills were a boon. She filed away everything he shared during their 5 years together, and she administrated that information efficiently so she could administer it effectively. So when he told her that he wasn't sure if he wanted children, she knew he doubted he'd be good enough. She saw him at 9 when his father walked out of his home and his life. And again at 29 when he lost his father for the second and final time. When he called her an outrageous flirt, she knew he was insecure. She saw him at 14 when the girl he had a crush on told him that she had a crush on his friend. When he complained about opening the box of Quality Street to find only orange creams remaining, she knew he was disappointed. She saw him at 6 when he ran to the cloakroom at break time and discovered that somebody had taken his 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chocolate bar. But even with all her expertise, she didn't see this moment coming. This moment when he sat her down and told her he was leaving. There was no one else. She'd done nothing wrong. He just didn't love her anymore. Well, she heard what he said, but she was certain it was not what he meant. She looked into his eyes, 35 years of emotional history gently bathing in salt water, and she began to dig. She told him what he meant was that he was scared. He was letting go of something before it let go of him, and she could see him at 3 when he jumped into his mother's arms and she failed to catch him. Him at 8. Him at 8 when he hid in a cupboard during a game of hide and seek and nobody came to find him. Him at 16 when he broke his leg and had to give up his dream of being a footballer. Him at 25 when his best friend crashed his car into a lamppost and trapped in the passenger seat, he was forced to watch him die. Him at 31 working at the only job he'd ever enjoyed and suddenly being made redundant. Him at 34 when after a trying year of trying, they found out she couldn't have children. Him last week when she forgot to buy milk. But this wasn't him. It wasn't. He leaned forward, put his hands on her shoulders and told her to look again. Search his eyes again. Because this was him. Right now. No longer loving her. And that was what he meant. She closed her eyes. And through the deepest of exhales, he heard her say, "Okay." But he knew that it was not. And as her head fell with the weight of acceptance and her heavy tears followed, he saw her, 17, unwanted and uncertain. Thank you.